Hi, I'm Ashton and I'm doing a free throw for basketball skill analysis. So the purpose is to shoot the ball with force and accuracy to a net, trying to sink a shot, and if you were in a game scenario, you'd be trying to score points. So first I'm going to show you a video of my expert shooting a ball and trying to shoot in the net. So first here you can see as he's trying to take a step forward to get some momentum moving forward. So he's aligning his feet, and his feet are shoulder width apart, and he's doing this to ensure he has support. And taking this, as you've seen him taking the step forward, he was taking the step forward to get the momentum going and better accuracy and force when shooting the ball instead of standing still. For his principles, a low center of gravity, get ready to bend the knees. As you can tell, his knees are starting to bend. So for a low center of gravity. Then, just before he's about to take the shot for his backswing and recovery movements, the knees are at a 90 and the ball was at waist level. So if we go back a little bit here, see he's at a 90, and right before that, the ball was at waist level. So right here, as he's walking up, the ball's at waist level, and then as he's going, about to shoot, his knees are at a 90 degree, and the shooting hand is slightly behind the ball. So see how it's below. The ball gets raised shoulder by his shoulder flexion. Lower, so again, this is him using lower center of gravity with combination of these movements, especially with the knees bent at the 90. So it's really helping him get support, being lower to the ground and having a lower center of gravity. Now he's bending them even more, but now he's starting to go up, and the force producing movements. This is when he's trying to get all his force from down from his legs and into his arms. So this is knee, hip, and shoulder flexion. The upper arm is raised vertically upwards, and it's actually going to increase his shoulder flexion when his arm is raised up. The elbow is kept under the ball, so see how his elbow is still under the ball, but his one arm, so his right arm that he's going to be shooting with, is still at that 90 to be able to push the ball up. The other left hand is just there for support of the ball. Wrist flexion, as fingers put backspin on the ball, so his wrists are actually going to help to spin the ball. And just before, so as you watch now, just before he goes, see how he's jumping off the ground opposed to standing still. When he's jumping off the ground, he's able to use that power from his legs and in his arms rather than just in his arms if he wasn't jumping. So jumping really helps him to get all the force upwards. For his principles, again, production of maximum force requires all the joints to be used. So right now he's using all his joints and all his movements while he's really jumping up. So he's using his arms, his legs, so he's using his shoulder flexion, knees, hips, wrist. So he's using all different kinds. And then production of maximum velocity requires the use of joints when he's throwing the ball. So when he's about to throw the ball. So now we're at the critical instant. So here you can see as he's just throwing it, so he's in the air, both his trunk and leg are extended. At release, the elbow was starting to approach full extension. So as you can tell here, if we rewind it a little bit, just before, see here, so his arm's still here, just before the release, the elbow is going to full extension. So see now, if we play it, it's at full extension as it's letting go. See the wrist flexion as it goes, the wrist flicks and provides the final impulse. And this is really helping to help determine both the velocity and the angle of the projection of the ball. So it's really helping with his accuracy of where he's throwing it. So his left hand drops away from the ball prior to releasing. So if you go back here a little bit and you watch, see, so both hands are still on the ball, but as he's going, the left hand actually releases first, and then it's just the right using its wrist flexion to really get the ball going, and all his force is coming from his right hand to let go of the ball. So as he's done, now his legs, so he's all extended, his legs are parallel and his legs are straight now, instead of being bent. So them being bent, they really helped to when he jumped to really use all his power from his legs. So for his principles here, movement usually occurs in the opposite that of the applied force. So that's what's happening with the ball as it's going out of his hands. Angular motion of the ball is produced by the application of force acting at some distance from the axis. So the angular motion of the ball by the wrist flexor that he's using on his right hand. And then lastly here is the angular momentum is constant when athlete is free in the air. So see now he's free in the air. If you watch the rest of the video, the ball is still spinning and it's still going. Even though he has let go of it, it's still in an angular motion when he's free in the air. So lastly, following through. So as you can tell here, all joints move back to full spot. So see he's standing now, his arms go automatically down to his side. His legs are straight and he's completely, his legs are now fully extended and his trunk is now vertical and it's now his relax of all his muscles because he's completely down. And he gets the shot with the force. So for principles, full extension of elbow and wrist allows for upward force and to spin the ball. So being when he was fully